The next group of fish families we are going to look into are the small bottom dwellers. The first family in this group is the Gobiidae, or gobies. These keep their bodies straight while resting and have a two-part dorsal fin. The second family is Blenidae, or blennies. These keep their bodies curved while resting on the bottom and have a single continuous dorsal fin. Gobiidae, or gobies, have a two-part dorsal fin and keep their bodies straight while resting on the bottom. These small bottom dwellers have a maximum length of 5 centimeters and can be found on the sand or coral. Their main diet consists of tiny invertebrates and are mainly found solitary on the reef. Color patterns can vary between white, brown, and red, and they often have some sort of pattern. The first species in the Gobiidae family is Amblyeleotris aurora. These small gobies are white with vertical orange stripes and a yellow tail. The next species in the Gobiidae family is Amblyeleotris diagonalis. These have clear fins and faint purple vertical stripes over a shiny white body. The next species in the Gobiidae family is Cryptocentris cinctus. These are a bright yellow color and have small white spots ranging from the mouth to the second dorsal fin. Next, we have Cryptocentris bulbiceps. These are characterized by their dark green and brown vertical striping and light blue spots around the head. They also have blue lines running through the anal and tail fin. The next species is Lotelia graciliosa. These are a burrowing species, usually found at the entrance to the burrow, waving large spotted pectoral fins. These are easily recognizable by their dark-colored bodies and white patch above the head. The next species in the Gobiidae family is Cumanceta hectori. These have alternating yellow and brown horizontal lines and a large black spot on the second dorsal fin. The next species in the Gobiidae family is Amblygobius sphinx. These are heavily patterned species with dark vertical bands and yellow eyes. Next is Amblygobius semicinctus. These are also heavily patterned and with a dark body accented by light blue spots. Notice the red spots in the second dorsal fin and the large black spot in the first dorsal fin for easy identification. Next we have Discoripina grisingeri. These are very flamboyant with large red and orange fins and a white body with spots near the head. Aviota pictifascis is a dwarf goby and has large round red spots near the head and an eye surrounded by brown and white pattern. Next, we have Gobidon citrinus, the poison goby. These have variable colors ranging from yellow to yellowish green and black. They have 2 pairs of light blue lines, one through the eye and one near the base of the pectoral fin. They also have a light blue line across the base of the dorsal and anal fin. Gobidon histrio, the broad-barred goby, is characterized by the green body and broad pink or reddish bars running vertically near the head, then horizontally down the body. Fun fact, these take part in a mutualistic relationship with a species of Acropora coral. When the coral is damaged by toxic algae, it produces a compound that attracts the goby to eat the algae and keep the coral clean. Our next species in the Gobiidae family is Priolepis cincta, the banded reef goby. These sit low to the bottom and can be characterized by the vertical banding down the length of its body and into the dorsal fin. The next species of goby is the Prima caudomaculatum. These are yellow with a silver bar running horizontally down the body. The base of the caudal fin also has a dark red spot. Next, we have Prima taylori. These are very small and brightly colored with transparent dorsal fins. The next species in the Gobiidae family we will discuss is the Valencinia strigata. These are plain silver or white colored with a yellow head and a light blue line running from the mouth to the base of the pectoral fin. The next species is Valencinia helsdingeni. These are characterized by a silver or white body with 2 horizontal brown stripes running from the mouth through to the tail fin. The next species is Valencinia puellaris, commonly known as the orange-dashed goby. These are characterized by a white and silver body with orange dashes running horizontally down the body. Next, we have Valencinia sexcutata. These have a white and silver body with blue spots and dashes around the head. The next species is Valencinia wardi. These are characterized by narrow dark brown saddles down the body. These also have a light blue line on the head and a black spot on the first dorsal fin. The next species is Bryaninops natans. These are extremely small with partially transparent bodies, pink eyes, and a yellow stripe partially down the body. And the last species from the Gobidae family we will discuss is the Bryaninops ionge, the banded reef goby. These have semi-transparent bodies with brown vertical banding down the entire body. The second family in the small bottom dwellers group are the Blenidae, or blennies, which have a single continuous dorsal fin and keep their body curved while resting on the bottom. Species in the Blenidae family often have cirri, or short antennae. These small bottom dwellers are on average 5 centimeters in length and can be found on reefs. Their main diet varies between species. Some are algae eaters, while others feed on tearing pieces of fins, skin, and scales from other fishes. They are mainly solitary on the reef. Color patterns can vary, and patterns are often found between species. The first species in the Blenidae family is Aspidontus dussumieri, which are characterized by a white and black horizontal stripe which runs down the length of the body. The second species we are looking at is Aspidontus taeniatus, adequately named the cleaner mimic, as they closely resemble the cleaner wrasse. These have downward-facing mouths, however, and a larger dorsal fin. The next species is Plagiotremus londandus. These are bicolor, with the head being blue and the posterior end yellow. Notice the long tail fin and the dark stripe through the dorsal fin. The next species is Meacanthus mozambicus. These are similar to Plagiotremus londandus, however the yellow color is confined to the tail and the entire dorsal fin is dark. The next species is Plagiotremus tapenosoma. These have distinct horizontal stripes running down the length of the body and have quite sharp snouts. Next we have Plagiotremus rhinorhinotros, which are characterized by a yellow body with 2 blue horizontal stripes down the length of the body. Juveniles are cleaner wrasse mimics and use that to get close to the fish to which they feed on. Bleniella chrysospylos. These have quite blunt heads and are heavily patterned. Notice the red marking over the face and eye. The next species is Cirripectus stigmaticus. These are dark-bodied with orange and yellow markings over the body and fins. Esenius midas, or the Midas blenny, have very variable markings. These are mostly yellow, however with pink patterns around the head regions. The next species we will discuss is Ixalius brevis, the leopard blenny. These have a red body and brown head with a honeycomb or leopard pattern. These can reach 15 centimeters in length and are generally found resting on corals. The next species in the Blenidae family is Istiblenius edentulus, the rippled rock skipper. These are found in exposed rocky intertidal zones and are characterized by the brown and green rippling pattern across the body. The last species we will look at is the Salarius fasciatus, the jeweled blenny. These are heavily patterned but generally have a green or light brown body color with white and silver patterns over top. We have a small overview to test your knowledge of the last 2 families we have gone over. Which fish belong to the family Gobidae, or gobies, and which belong to the Blenidae, or blennies. Pause the video to see how you do. Are you ready? Here are a few tips for getting these correct. Remember that Gobiidae, or gobies, have a two-part dorsal fin, whereas blennies have a single, continuous dorsal fin. Remember when seeing them in the water that Gobiidae species also rest on the bottom with their bodies straight, whereas Blennidae curve their bodies while resting. Thanks for watching. Check out the next video to continue your fish identification.